Yo, what's up guys? Sam here. Today we got massive news to talk about for Apple's first event of 2023. This event is when we are getting the headset and the new Mac Pro. We have so much to talk about today. If you're excited, drop a like, hit subscribe. It seriously helps me out. Let's start off with the headset because we have gotten so much information about it. First of all, the biggest piece of information comes courtesy of both Mark Gurman and Guomin Chi, who said that Apple was initially targeting this month to unveil the product, but due to some last minute delays, we will now be seeing this likely in March. But unlike other events, this is not going to be something small with a number of spec bump products. This is going to be to get everyone's focus on this major new hardware release. And most importantly, Apple's first serious foray into virtual reality, because that's what this product is. It's a VR headset, and I know it sounds weird for Apple to be doing this, but as somebody that's tried VR and realized how bad VR is right now, there's one company that can crack the code on this. It's Apple. And it sounds like they have, because we got a crazy new report about what this thing is going to be and the new features. Well, we've actually known about the rough design of this for a while now. We now have more details about the actual materials. It's going to be made out of aluminum and glass, but also carbon fiber. Carbon fiber being incredibly lightweight and super durable and also pretty expensive. But considering the number one problem with VR headsets is that they're heavy and uncomfortable, using carbon fiber is actually brilliant. Like that alone, I can tell you, I think this product is going to solve the problem. Also, unlike other headsets, the cameras aren't going to be really obvious. Apple's apparently found a pretty creative way to hide them and obfuscate them so it looks like a product and not like you're wearing 12 cameras on your head, because there will be 12 cameras on this thing. Now, similar to the Apple Watch and bands that are interchangeable on here, there's also going to be interchangeable bands for the headset as well. There's one said to be geared toward developers for actually making apps for the product, but also something more comfortable like the Apple Watch Sport Band geared toward more normal use. And you can imagine all the different case scenarios for different bands of different materials that Apple's going to be able to drop for these in the third-party support. If it's anything like bands on the Apple Watch, I think people are going to really like this. Another big problem with VR headsets is that they don't last very long because the battery life is so short, but Apple's thought about a way to get around this. There's going to be a decent battery on the inside, but there's also going to be a MagSafe waist-mounted battery pack that you can connect externally if you want even longer extended use sessions. Now, there's also some other interesting things that Apple's doing on here, like making a 120-degree field of view. So it'll be the widest field of view out of any headset that is currently on the market, making it the most immersive and the most realistic. And I can just keep going down the list here of features. We've also got the H2 chip inside for low latency. We're going to have an M2 Plus style chip for power. And it sounds like Apple's basically taking the same approach here that they did to the Apple Watch in 2015, where smartwatches didn't really work that well, or the iPhone in 2007, when smartphones, the vision wasn't there. This feels like the vision. I have not been this excited ever about a product, and yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know, like, it's actually happening. We've been talking about this for years. We've heard from numerous sources that it is coming in the spring. But it's not just rumors suggesting that it's coming soon. We've also seen leaks in other software, with Apple mentioning XR OS for extended reality, the operating system that is said to run on the device. That is now popping up in more places as the launch nears. And while I thought that was going to be the only thing coming at this event, because major new product, you could see Apple doing something dedicated for it, there's actually another thing coming as well. The new Mac Pro. More on that in a second. Now, before moving on to the rest of the products in this video, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, which is the 1-inch wallet for your iPhone. It's a crypto wallet. As somebody who owns quite a bit of crypto, it's incredibly important to me that it is safe, secure, and more importantly, non-custodial, meaning they don't own your crypto. It's not sitting on an exchange. It's owned by you and stored on your own personal wallet. The app supports a wide variety of networks from Ethereum to BNB Chain to Polygon and even more. And it's got top level security so that when you're actually doing a transaction, it looks user friendly and you can see what's happening as the wallet parses call data. It also takes advantage of the industry standard seed phrase, but it's got a cool feature where you can hold your camera up to the phrase and it will actually import it using artificial intelligence, which is super handy. It makes entering it a lot quicker. My favorite feature though is the secure backup to iCloud. So you can install it on one iPhone and get access to your wallet on another device just by knowing your secure password. Guys, this is 1-inch wallet. Link to download it is down below in the description. Make sure you have custody of your own assets. All right, cool. Now back to the video. Okay, so the headset is coming in March at this event, and I thought that would be it. right? But apparently, Apple's going to be dropping a new Mac Pro around the same time. Now, the reason this is exciting is because the Mac Pro is the last Mac to yet get the Apple Silicon transition. This is Apple's highest end, most intense, most expensive, most powerful computer that has not really been touched in a couple of years now. And it's exciting because with Apple Silicon transforming every other Mac, it's been like, okay, what's Apple doing with this Mac? And we have some more information about that. Well, first of all, it's said to have the same design as the current 2019 generation. This has got the wild cheese grater effect that I actually think looks really good, but instead of Intel, Apple's going to put a new M2 Ultra chip on the inside. So basically the highest tier Mac Studio chip, but faster, I think, in the Mac Pro. It's kind of weird because it sounds like the Mac Pro is just gonna be a new version of the Mac Studio, and then it's like, why does the Mac Studio exist? I don't have all the answers now, but one big caveat here is that the Apple Silicon Mac Pro will not have user upgradable RAM because the RAM is tied in directly to Apple Silicon chips, thus the user won't be able to change it out, which kind of sucks. That being said then, what will actually differentiate this from the Mac Studio is the modularity-ish components. And I say that loosely because it'll basically be like the current generation where you could potentially swap out the I/O and put different drives or SSDs in here depending on your needs. But I also think the Mac Pro would be the perfect time for Apple to introduce an Apple design GPU, because if there's one spot that Apple Silicon doesn't entirely crush it, it's still with the graphics. You cannot realistically game on a Mac yet because the internal graphics support just isn't there. All right, I want it to be there, it's not there. You can't game on a Mac. Don't at me. I think this new Mac Pro makes sense only if there is something truly different than the Mac Studio. Otherwise, you've got two devices that are really similar and one's gonna be double or triple the price, the new, more expensive Mac Pro. And I also get if you're watching this like, I'm never gonna buy the Mac Pro, why does this matter? It just matters because it's going to be our clearest final vision of Apple Silicon as far as how far Apple can push it in a device completely unstrained by heat or thermals or design. Like, it's a big chunky boy. All right, we haven't seen Apple Silicon in a big chunky boy yet. So let's get ready for Apple Silicon and a big chunky boy. And that's gonna be Apple's March event. You might notice I did not talk about the new MacBook Pros or the Mac Mini with M2 chips that are said to be coming this spring. And that's because I don't think they're gonna come at this event. I actually think that Apple is just gonna randomly drop these new MacBook Pros and Mac Minis early. I don't know when. It could be next week, it could be a month from now, but I don't see them announcing other smaller products alongside these two tent poles, the VR headset and the Mac Pro. That just seems like way too much at the same time. All right, are you guys excited? I'm absolutely stoked. Drop a like if you are. Hit subscribe so you stay up to date on all of the latest Apple news. All right, I'm in South Korea right now. Then I'm in Japan for a couple days. That's why everything looks weird. But I've got other videos that should be coming out. It's a whole thing. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. I gotta go. Bye.